night for the first time, so I apologise if the lighting is more terrible than usual. Though I suppose that this video doesn't really deserve good lighting, because I'm about to be a massive hypocrite and talk about a book that I've not read. Picking an overrated book is incredibly difficult, even more so than picking an underrated book. I mean, it doesn't matter if you like The Winter's Tale or not, because if you haven't read it or heard of it, then that kind of qualifies it as underrated. But if you pick an overrated book, there's always going to be someone who's insulted. I could pick a book I simply don't like and be told it's a matter of opinion. I can say that Dickens is a drunken misogynist and be told that his cultural significance outweighs that. I can't even say that Twilight is overrated, because even though we can all agree that it's certainly overconsumed, no one's accusing it of being highly rated. So I'm going to take the high road and pick a book that will have a chance to redeem itself in my eyes, because I haven't read it. And that book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Now, I know that this is hardly fair, but this is Tumblr. If you haven't seen at least 27 desaturated photos with the words, "and in that moment I swear we were infinite," laid over in Helvetica, then you're doing something wrong. A few things about this book struck me as being overrated, the first of which being that it's written in journal/letter form. I keep a journal, and I'm fully aware of the sentimental gibberish that I have the ability to vomit. It would be in no way significant culturally, nor would it be wise for my journal to ever be published. Just no. Anyway, another thing that annoys me, and that only annoys me because I'm a snob and a bit of a bitch, is that everyone keeps on calling Wallflower the next Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, no. Catcher is quite possibly my favourite book. I carry it with me everywhere pretty much, and one day I'm going to accidentally kill someone and people will find Catcher in my bag and then they'll think it's a Salinger conspiracy. I'm going to save talking about Catcher for another day though. So I decided to read the beginning of this book online and see if it's as overrated as my original speculations would indicate. Dear friend, I am writing to you because you said you listen and understand and didn't try to sleep with that person at that party even though you could have. Please don't try to figure out who she is, because then you might figure out who I am, and I really don't want you to do that. I will call people by different names or generic names because I don't want you to find me. I didn't enclose your return address for the same reason. I mean nothing bad by this, honest. I just need to know that someone out there listens and understands and doesn't try to sleep with people even if they could have. I need to know that these people exist. I think you of all people would understand that, because I think you of all people are alive and appreciate what that means. At least I hope you do, because other people look to you for strength and friendship, and it's that simple. At least that's what I've heard. So this is my life, and I want you to know that I am both happy and sad, and I'm still trying to figure out how that could be. I try to think of my family as a reason for me being this way, especially after my friend Michael stopped going to school one day last spring and we heard Mr. Vaughan's voice on the loudspeaker. Boys and girls, I regret to inform you that one of our students has passed on. We will hold a memorial service for Michael Dobson during assembly this Friday. I don't know how news travels around school and why it's very often right. Maybe it was in the lunchroom. It's hard to remember, but Dave with the awkward glasses told us that Michael killed himself. His mom played bridge with one of Michael's neighbours and they heard the gunshot. I don't really remember much of what happened after that, except my older brother came to Mr. Vaughan's office in my middle school and told me to stop crying. Then he put his arm on my shoulder and told me to get it out of my system before Dad came home. We then went to eat French fries at McDonald's and he taught me how to play pinball. He even made a joke that because of me he got to skip an afternoon of school and asked me if I wanted to help him work on his Camaro. I guess I was pretty messy because he never let me work on his Camaro before. At the guidance counsellor sessions they asked the few of us who actually liked Michael to say a few words. I think they were afraid that some of us would try kill ourselves or something because they looked very tense and one of them kept touching his beard. Bridget, who was crazy, said that sometimes she thought about suicide when commercials came on during TV. She was sincere and this puzzled the guidance counsellors. Carl, who was nice to everyone, said that he felt very sad, but could never kill himself because it's a sin. This one guidance counsellor went through the whole group and finally came to me. What do you think, Charlie? What was so strange about this was the fact that I never met this man, because he was a specialist, and he knew my name even though I wasn't wearing a name tag like they do in open house. Well, I think Michael was a nice guy, and I don't understand why he did it. As much as I feel sad, I think that not knowing is what really bothers me. I just reread that and it doesn't sound like how I talk, especially in that office because I was crying still. I never did stop crying. To be honest, I actually enjoy the matter-of-factness and kind of vague naivety of the voice of Charlie, but there's something sort of lost on me when a protagonist is this stilted, not necessarily in action but on recount. I'm going to have to read Wallflower one day, even if its title is literally a clever way of saying the good things about being different. I don't want to talk about Catcher in the Rye right now, that is a deed for another day and another t-shirt. But I will ask you very seriously to read Catcher in the Rye and see that this voice in Wallflower is a common voice, the voice of confused adolescents. And the voice of confused adolescents need not be so oblivious to anything other than the present. Holden lies to you because he's afraid of being judged. Charlie doesn't. And reliable narration is overrated.